PT Divide Podcast coming at you another episode. Let me straighten my mic out real quick. Um, so we're going to answer the age-old question that you hear a lot when it comes to divorce, and this should go either for men and women. Either side of the coin. Is your partner entitled to have when there's a divorce? Are they entitled to have? Um, I don't think that they are entitled to half of anything. I think that if you work for it, you earned it, you get it. Now, there are certain situations, certain circumstances where um, one of the partners may not have been able to work, so they may not have been able to accumulate cash assets or cash or something like that. So I think in those situations, you got to look at those differently. But I think if both partners are working, doing their own thing, I think you take what you earned, and then you leave the relationship. Now, this guy, he's got some good points. Um, and he speaks a lot on relationships, but he's got some good points. I mean, he speaks about how, is my mom and dad entitled to half of what I got since they're responsible for who the person I became today? And then we just keep on going back down, 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 and keep on rolling.
People say to me all the time, well, I married this person, and when we got married, he had nothing. He had nothing, and he built his business while he was married to me. And I was very, there for him while he was building it. So therefore, I believe I'm entitled to half the value of that business. Now, that's a logical argument. I don't know that I agree with it, but it's logical. But keep going with that logic, right? So if that was true, and I built this business, and my wife, who was married to me while I was building that business, she helped make that. Okay, well, her mother and father helped make who she is. So I owe them something, right? Because if they hadn't done what they did, I wouldn't have her. And if I didn't have her, I wouldn't have my business. So how much do I owe them?
That makes a good point. If you chop it down once, do you continue to chop it down based on the same aspects, based on the same logic? Like I said, I don't believe that that's how it should work. I mean, just like I don't believe that when you go into divorce, like I know the courts are huge, thinking that you got to give kids to mom. A lot of states have tried to become 50-50, but obviously there's still going to be a bias because though you change things, it doesn't mean that you change the human factor involved with a lot of this stuff. So even when it comes to custody and stuff like that, you still have some of the same issues that you're going to run into in a lot of these situations where um, more likely mom's more likely to get the kids most of the time, or mom could even get full custody of the kids, even if mom doesn't have the means to take care of the kids, right? And so because of human nature, the human factor believes that moms are the greater parent, they mean more than dads. They're more likely to get them to moms. Like it could be a situation where um, dad can fully take care of the kids, they'd have a good life instead of splitting up funds, but the courts will still award mom the majority of the custody just because she's mom. They don't make it based on logic as, okay, who can take care of the kids? Who has the means to take care of the kids? Or should they go here with dad until mom gets up on her feet and then she has the means, then you split it up? Or vice versa. Do they go with mom because, dad's down on his luck and he hasn't had a job for XYZ amount of time? And so now you let him go with mom, and then dad does his thing, gets himself built back up. Then once he gets himself built back up and he's hustling, doing his thing, then you revisit it. You put that clause in there where you can revisit it. And so I don't think that anybody's entitled to half of anybody's anything if they did not put in the work for it to get it, because it takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. I don't think people understand the work that goes into building a business or the work that goes into building assets in your life. A lot of people don't have assets. Like the majority of Americans don't have any assets. There are people who are walking around right now with no assets or with negative assets, right? Dude, you're 100% liability. And so building assets takes a lot of work, takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that people aren't willing to put in. And some people are willing to put in. So say you have a partner and they don't like to work hard, but you like to work hard. So you bust your ass and you work hard and you put in the effort, and then you build some things up, and then your partner is not with you. They don't want to build things up, so they're just kind of just there. You decide, okay, well, if I can do this on my own, I'm gonna do this on my own. Does that partner that had no ambition to build things up, do they deserve to get half? So you got to ask those questions, man, and those questions are hard. Um, Questions that most people don't want to answer. Questions that most people don't even want to ask because they're afraid to offend anybody. But these questions need to be answered because it's not about being offended. It's about doing the right thing for the situation. And the right thing is not always giving away stuff to open hands. Sometimes the right thing is saying, well, you didn't put the effort in. So now you got to go out there and figure out how to do this thing on your own. And sometimes that's necessary for growth. That's part of being an adult, right? Taking care of business. So you just kind of got to get it done. You don't have a choice. And so, I mean, so that's kind of my take on it. I want to keep this thing short and sweet. Um, but yeah, again, it's GT the Vibe podcast. If you like our content, please like, subscribe, share. Make sure that you keep pushing it out there for the algorithm to hit. We appreciate you guys rocking with us as long as you have. See you later.